Hey everybody, welcome back to Urban Rush. Well, it is that time of year where a lot of weddings are afoot, whether you're a guest or a bride.
You're on television.
Hi. Hi,
Hello
so
there.
are you? You ever been on TV before?
Yep.
Because you're acting like you haven't,
I'm sorry.
young man. Our next guest has written a fantastic book, If You Want to Be an Offbeat Bride. It is the taffeta-free alternative for weddings. She joins us now. Ariel Meadow Stallings, how are you?
I'm great. I'm
Thanks
great.
for coming. Now,
Thank
first
you.
of all, to set the whole tone of this book and what you're talking about, tell us about your wedding.
Yeah, my now husband and I got married in 2004. We'd been together for 7 years at that point, so we knew each other pretty well, and we knew what we liked and what we didn't like. And our goal with the wedding was to have a wedding that was like our favorite kind of party. And we would get married at the party, but it would be a good party. So our wedding was outdoors, in a garden. Our guests sat on blankets on the lawn, and we said our vows in the garden, ate dinner on the picnic blankets, and then went down to my mom's property where there was basically an all-night rave as our wedding reception. So family and dancing and hula hoops, and it was totally ridiculous and perfect for us. I mean, it was just right for who we are and what we wanted, and it was fun.
I know that you would go through all sorts of planning, but then did it start to take a life of its own?
Oh, it definitely. I mean, I'm a big project management person, and all of a sudden I realized that all my career skills of project management, I had my little Excel spreadsheet about my budgets and my invitations, and yeah, I mean, it really gets into it's project management, and I think when you add the stress of all the traditions and the pressure and the money, it really can start to
well, the traditional wedding and the cost involved can be right for the right person,
Absolutely.
but it can't necessarily speak to everyone, and some people feel pressured to do that. What's your advice if you feel like that's all wrong for you?
Yeah, you know, I feel like traditional weddings are great for traditional people. If you pick up a wedding magazine, you know, those big, like 500-pound, inch-thick wedding magazines, and you start flipping through it and you're kind of getting nauseous, then you know that is not for you. And I think it's really important to then step back and think about what do you want your wedding to be? You don't have to have a cake, you don't have to have an aisle, you don't have to have a bouquet. Like, as long as you say I do. Right. Whose wedding is it? Whose wedding is it? There's actually a chapter in Offbeat Bride called "Whose Wedding Is This Anyway?" Because there's really a lot of ownership issues, especially when money gets involved.
My friend Adrian Dorvell, wonderful actor here in town, had a wedding, and everybody sort of ended up coming as the Addams family. And it was a sort of an Addams family bond. Yes.
Was this planned?
No, it was fantastic.
Okay.
That's great.
If it weren't planned, then it might be weird. Even better. Now, there's a little part in your book that caused a little controversy upstairs because one of our friends upstairs who works there had just gotten engaged, gotten his girl a giant engagement ring, which she loves, and they love each other, and they're getting married, and they're very happy. But you say that people don't need engagement rings.
Yeah, you know,
it's what the guys want to hear.
Right, right. You really, you don't need a diamond ring. Like, the only reason that diamonds are involved with weddings or engagements is because De Beers did a big marketing push in the 1930s and said, ooh, diamonds are forever. That's what you do when you want to get married. Now. And you could do sapphires, you could do topaz. You know, there's any number of jewels that you can use in a ring, or you cannot have a ring. I mean, there's definitely, I think there's a lot of tradition around having a ring, and I totally respect that for some people that's a really exciting part of the process of getting married is down on one knee and here's the ring. And you know, I talked to people who had an engagement lighter. They had this lighter, and that was, you know, where's the engagement lighter? And that's really, you know, every time you want to have a cigarette, that's a really useful, you get to think of your beloved, and it's,
whatever floats your boat.
Whatever floats your boat. I think that's really what the core is if you're into bling and diamonds and jewelry, go for it. If you're not, no need.
I think a simple band says a lot, and I think that as long as that band's on your finger, you're okay. I'd lose a lighter. Right away.
This is
within a month, I'd lose it.
It's true. It's hard to wear a lighter on your finger.
Okay, what about guests? What about the bridal party? Because there's always a lot of drama involved with who you pick and who you don't pick and what they wear. How do you solve those problems?
Yeah, you know, I spoke to one woman who was a bridesmaid who made the mistake of getting her hair cut before a friend's wedding, and the bride completely lost it because her hair was too short to go into the official bridesmaid updo. And the bride lost it, the bridesmaid got, in a lot of trouble.
Why do people make this drama?
And
I don't understand.
Here's what I really emphasize in Offbeat Bride is, as a bride, when you're picking, if you want to have a wedding party, you don't have to. If you want to have a wedding party, pick the people in your party who are into the same things you are. So if that's meticulous hair and makeup, and everyone appreciates, we all want to have the same hair, that's great. Pick people who are into those things. But you don't want to pick your cousin who doesn't like wearing makeup and then saying, you need to wear this taffeta dress, put on a bunch of makeup, wear your hair in this updo. You need to find wedding party people who are going to support the vision you want. And that's important.
What about writing your own ceremony?
It's funny, I'm a big supporter of writing your own ceremony. I think it's a way to really, really add a personal value and make the ceremony really reflect who you are. That said, even as a writer, it is so hard.
You lose sleep over that.
It's so hard to write my ceremony. I mean, you're making this commitment for your life, ideally, and how are you going to say that? And I mean, we included things like, I'll pat your head when you're feeling bad, like just the simple things, along with the big, I'll support you, I'll challenge you. I mean, it's really, it's a great exercise, almost like couples counseling, to write your vows together.
Did you write your husband's vows, or did he?
No. We sat back to back, wrote our vows separately, then turned around, read our vows, said, oh, I like that part, oh, I like that part, and then picked one shared sentence to have our last sentence be the same.
What was the shared sentence?
I vow to walk this path with you today. I vow to walk this path with you always. Something like that. Don't commit me to that being the exact words. It was 2.5 years ago, but it was pretty much that sentence.
Okay, how about bride's dress? Because it's easy to paint the picture of a bridezilla, but there's usually a reason why someone's in that corner.
Yeah.
Say a bride's in that corner because this is wedding season. How do you get out of that when you just are so stressed out your wedding's not fun anymore? Yeah,
I think there's really, first of all, there needs to be a stepping away from thinking that being a bride excuses really bad behavior. It's not okay. It's never okay to treat people around you poorly. As there's one woman I spoke to in the wedding who says, face it, you're outnumbered. There's only 2 of you getting married and your entire community of people is there. So don't treat these people poorly. So try and, step back. There's also a lot of value in getting some perspective. Go read the world news. Suddenly your wedding doesn't look so bad.
Good advice.
By comparison. And also really, I think just having a lot of patience for yourself and whatever your sense of self-care is, that's kind of a touchy-feely term, but like if that
just
means
breathe.
Taking more baths, if that means, going for a hike, also cutting out caffeine.
Shrooms.
I know, it's really
Cut
tough.
out the shrooms or take some.
It really...
Shrooms.
It helps, You cut out caffeine and suddenly you're not quite as stressed out and you're sleeping a little better, and that helps.
You have a website?
I do, offbeatbride.com, which is actually, I love writing the book. It's great. I got a lot of 50, 60 couples to contribute their stories to the book, but it's a monologue. I wrote the book, you read the book. The website is much more of a dialogue. I profile different offbeat brides every single week to show different pictures of, I call it wedding porn, because there's no porn involved, but when you're planning a wedding, looking at pictures of other people's weddings it's wonderful. So there's a lot more of a dialogue going on with the website and a photo gallery, and it's a lot of fun.
And you have a book party?
Yeah, tonight at Sophia Books on Hastings, there's going to be a reading, music, a fashion show. I think there's going to be some hula hooping.
Hula hoops?
The original title of the book was And the Bride Wore a Hula Hoop, so they're very near and dear to my heart. So I think there's going to be some hula hooping involved at the book signing. And a sock puppet.
Okay, now I'm scared. Okay, really, seriously though. I know. You have to pick up this book if you're getting married or someone in your life is. It's a good way to have a giggle. And the girl drops the F-bomb a few times in here, doesn't she?
She does.
It's PG-13, but I figure no one under the age of 13 should be getting married anyway.
That's a good point. Okay.
You can handle it.
We're going to take a break, and when we return, of course, as we mentioned earlier in the show, Spider-Man 3 is opening this weekend. It will be a blockbuster, but what do you, the people, think of it? Well, Patrick Maliha is going to tell us right after this.
Patty.
Thank you.